Ever been graded on your whole life before the turkey even hits 150 degrees? I'm Mia. At 6 a.m., my mom, Diane, barked orders like a field general while I laid out the good china, pretending my hands weren't shaking. Family poured in with the shiny neighbors, Evan and Paige, the kind who smile with perfect teeth. Then Diane dropped it. "Sweetie, renting suits you. You're not homeowner material." The room laughed, polite, surgical. I swallowed hard. Funny thing, my phone buzzed with a secret big enough to buy their silence twice. Do I keep quiet or burn the script at dinner? If you were me, what would you do? Tell me in the comments. And hey, hit subscribe. This story only gets messier tonight. I'm Mia, and I swear the house started judging me before anyone else did. The oven ticked like a metronome for anxiety, the good chine glared at me from the hutch, and my mom, Diane, moved through the kitchen like a commander who's 5 minutes from invading Normandy. Plates, napkins, corners folded. "Don't smudge the rim," she said, not even looking up. By noon, the doorbell turned the living room into a stage. Aunt Carla clutching a pie like a trophy, Uncle Mark doing his annual monologue about tax shelters, Cousin Jenna with new lashes and newer opinions, and then the glossy neighbors, Evan and Paige, arrived with perfect smiles and a bottle that probably cost more than my car insurance. Here's the part no one says out loud. In some families, holiday dinner is a pop quiz on your life. Who's married? Who's pregnant? Who bought a house? Who lost 10 pounds? Who's still figuring it out? There's a tone for each category: warm applause, polite nods, or that syrupy pity that makes your skin itch. Mia's downtown apartment is so cozy, Mom offered like she was donating me to Goodwill. Renting suits her for now. The room hummed. Paige tilted her head, sympathetic. Evan asked, "You ever think about ownership?" Uncle Mark loaded gravy onto his plate and onto my self-esteem. Rates were low for years. People who missed it, well, timing says a lot. Then Mom dropped the grenade. "Sweetie, be realistic. Not everyone is homeowner material." Boom. The table didn't gasp. It did something worse. It smiled. That polite surgical smile that hurts more than laughter. I stared at the cranberry sauce and felt my chest tighten. In families like mine, be realistic is the velvet rope across the VIP section. It's how we say, stay small. My fork shook. My throat did that thing where it tightens but refuses to cry, because, crying here would be like bleeding in shark water. "Focus on stability," Aunt Carla chimed in, gentle but sharp. "Real estate takes sophistication." Evan smiled like a coach who knows you'll never make varsity. "Ownership isn't for everyone." Paige said in a tone made of honey and needles, "But renting can be freeing." I nodded like a good sport, swallowing the storm. Out of nowhere, my phone buzzed. I let it vibrate against my palm, a tiny heartbeat reminding me I hadn't said my last line in this scene. I slipped into the hallway to check the turkey, which actually meant checking myself. The mirror looked unforgiving under the hallway light. I practiced a smile that said I was fine. I wasn't fine. Back at the table, the conversation was evolving into a financial sermon. "You have to build equity," Uncle Mark said, as if I'd never heard the phrase. "People who rent don't understand wealth." Mom tried to sound loving and landed on condescending. "Mia's practical, maybe a small condo one day, nothing too ambitious." Then the line that still stings. "Dreams are nice, but some of us aren't built for big risks." I heard it as, "You aren't built for big anything, and I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I say something? Why not blow up the table with the truth?" Because the worst part about being quietly underestimated is that if you defend yourself, you look insecure. If you don't, you look guilty. So you sit there and bleed in a color no one else can see. You swallow 1,000 little deaths and call it respect. If you've ever had your life graded over mashed potatoes, you get it. If you haven't, imagine every good thing you were being weighed against other people's headlines. "She just got promoted. They closed on a 4-bedroom. He's investing in a startup." Meanwhile, you're the cautionary tale. It's not what they say, it's what they imply. It's the smile, it's the slow nod. It's the word still, as in, she's still renting. If you were me, what would you do? Smile and pass the rolls, or push back hard enough to rattle the silverware? Tell me in the comments. And if this hits a nerve, tap like so more people see it. because I'm about to show you the part they never saw coming. Right when the room crowned me not homeowner material, the universe handed me the loudest quiet I've ever heard. My phone, buzzing with receipts. I slid into the home office under the pretense of checking on cranberry sauce temperatures. The screen lit up with a text from Lauren, my property manager, on a deal I'd been nurturing for 8 months. Mia, final walkthrough is complete. All paperwork is signed. Wire confirmed. The $2.8 million estate has officially closed. When do you want the key handoff and orientation? For a second, I forgot how to breathe. My reflection in the dark monitor looked like a new person, someone who didn't have to justify her life at a table built on assumptions. My thumbs moved on autopilot. Monday morning works. Please coordinate with the design firms. 3 proposals by next week. Her reply stacked in instantly. Congratulations, the estate is magnificent. Another ping, my financial advisor. Wire received, rebalance executed. Great timing on trimming those tech positions before the dip. The same hands that weren't homeowner material were apparently signing off on a deed and a portfolio rebalance in the same hour. Here's what they didn't know. The estate isn't just square footage and bragging rights. It's a strategy. There's a fully outfitted guest house that executives in the area have already asked to rent for off-sites, short-term premium rates. Cash flow, day one. There's a wine cellar the previous owner left behind, estimated at $50,000. Appraisal scheduled for insurance. The main house has space that lives like a dream and earns like a plan. A library for meetings, a courtyard built for hosting, a kitchen that laughs at the idea of takeout. A security system install is booked. Landscape renovations line up next week, so spring will look like a magazine spread. This isn't a flex, it's a blueprint. And yet, back in the dining room, Evan was telling the table about a Spanish-style estate with mountain views that disappeared in days. Paige sighed like a romantic heroine. Listed at 2.8. Perfect bones. We were too slow. I stood there with my heartbeat in my ears. They were describing my house, my deed, my keys. The same number my advisor had just texted glowed like a neon sign in my brain, 2,800 pins. Properties like that never hit the public market, Evan mused. The serious ones move quietly. I almost laughed. Quiet was an understatement. Quiet was me chewing on turkey while orchestrating interior design consultations from the pantry. Mom frowned, genuinely confused. 2.8 million here? Uncle Mark, suddenly a geographer, explained how desirable pockets command premium pricing if you know where to look. He smiled at me like a teacher who assumes you can't read. My phone rang. It was Lauren again, apologizing for the holiday interruption to personally congratulate me and to float a not-so-subtle hint. We already have 3 inquiries from buyers who missed it. If you ever want to resell, you could clear more than you paid. I smiled into the phone. Not selling, this is home. Saying it out loud felt like setting a bone that had been broken for years without anyone noticing. Back at the table, the narrative continued without me. People who buy at that level are built different, Evan said. Sophisticated capital. Very high liquidity, Uncle Mark added, carving authority into his ham. They move fast. Paige buttered a roll and said the line that almost made me choke. They're not renters. You want a hook? Here it is. Sometimes the person everyone writes off is the one who already signed. The check cleared while they were passing judgment and the green bean casserole. The deed transferred while they were transferring pity. I walked back in, set down a tray, and let them keep talking. Because silence, when you're holding a secret that big, feels like a diamond no one else can lift. If you've ever been underestimated, you know the best clapback isn't a speech, it's a receipt. I had the kind that doesn't fit in a comment thread. A property orientation, 3 design proposals due, and a calendar full of actual decisions, not hypotheticals. Tell me, would you have said it at the table? Would you have pulled the trigger and dropped, that house? It's mine. Smash the like button if you've ever held your truth while a room tried to write your ending. Share this with someone who needs a reminder. The quiet one isn't weak, they're loading. Here's the plot twist most people don't understand. Not every victory needs an audience. I didn't reveal the house, I didn't flash the number, I didn't collect gasps like trophies. I chose quiet on purpose. Why? Because once you tell people what you've built, they act like they own part of it. Suddenly, you're on a tour you didn't plan, explaining decisions you didn't ask permission to make. I wanted to walk into that estate Monday morning without anyone's fingerprints on my choices. So I leaned into silence like it was strategy, and it was. I rinsed plates, I topped off wine. I listened to my mother apologize in a whisper while drying the good china. "I hope I didn't embarrass you earlier," she said, eyes softer than they'd been all day. "I just worry you're too cautious." The cruel thing about love is how easily it confuses caution with smallness. I took a breath. "I'm investing," I said, careful as a surgeon. "I'm diversifying, I'm okay." She nodded, relief blooming where judgment had lived. If she knew the truth, she might have cried. Instead, she stacked plates and said, "I'm proud you're thinking the long term." We lifted the same dish, and for once, we were carrying something together. In the office, my phone stacked confirmations like dominoes, landscape team ready to mobilize, designer from Morrison and Cole, open Tuesday afternoon, locksmith scheduled, insurance binder prepared, pending the wine appraisal, security install locked for midweek. A guest house rental inquiry came through a contact of Lauren's, corporate retreat 2 weekends a quarter, numbers that made my inner spreadsheet glow. My downtown apartment, the one that had been my proof of smallness to the whole table, was now a step in a ladder. I'd listed in a few weeks professional photos, staged throw blanket, and watch it transform from cozy to cash flow. I walked back into the living room and the TV had a football game on mute. People were relaxed, the post-dinner lull where everyone's guard drops and the truth peeks through. "You'll get there," Uncle Mark said, not unkind, just certain of his narrative. "Start small," I smiled. "I already did." He nodded, satisfied, not hearing the weight beneath it. Paige gave me a pity pat on the arm, the kind that makes you want to set the world on fire. Evan handed me a card. "If you ever hear about something exceptional, call us." I took it because life is networking and irony. Do you want to know the moment I almost broke? It wasn't the comment about not homeowner material. It was a throwaway line from Mom at the door as she hugged Evan and Paige goodbye. "I just want the best for her. She's a renter. She needs help." I felt the ground tilt, but I breathed and I chose the hardest thing. I let the line pass without dragging her into my truth before she was ready to hold it. Rage is tempting. Power is patient. On the drive home, the streets were so quiet it felt like a movie set after the crew leaves. I pulled into my building's garage and sat there with the engine off, letting the silence wrap around me like a blanket. Monday, I would walk an estate with 10 sets of keys and a checklist. Tuesday, I'd watch the security team button the place up. Wednesday, I'd approve landscape drafts. Next week, I'd review 3 design proposals: textures, timelines, retainers, real work, real ownership, real agency. And the family? The truth will find them, not as a bomb dropped at a dinner table, but as a fact that arrives the way good news should. Steady, undeniable, right on time. Maybe a county record, maybe a neighbor's whisper. Maybe Mom will call me one afternoon and say, "Did you?" And I'll say, "Yes, Mom, I did." We'll talk about guest house bookings and insurance binders and how the apricot tree in the courtyard will blossom by March. She'll understand I wasn't too cautious. I was precise. If you've ever swallowed your victory to protect your peace, you're not alone. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is refuse to perform your success for people who graded your life off a rumor. If this resonates, like the video so the algorithm doesn't bury it, drop a comment. Would you have told them at the table or kept it quiet like I did? Share this with the friend who's building something real behind closed doors. And for the record, here are the quotes that still echo, the ones that lit my fuse. Renting suits you. Not everyone is homeowner material. Ownership isn't for everyone. Translation: sit down, stay small, don't try. My answer: quiet then, loud now, watch me. Driving home, the streets felt emptied out, like the set after everyone's lines were done. I sat in my car a minute and let the quiet be honest with me. Today hurt, not because they're evil people, but because labels stick when they're said with love. Renter, not homeowner material. It's wild how a single word can press on an old bruise you thought had healed. Here's what I'm taking with me. I don't owe anyone a performance of my progress. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. I can protect my peace and still build loudly on paper. And yeah, I chose not to clap back at the table. I chose to let my choices speak on Monday. But tell me straight, am I in the wrong? Should I have said it right there and made the room choke on its own certainty? My lesson: set boundaries with receipts. Let love in, but don't let it name you. Move with precision, not permission. If you've ever been talked over while doing the work in the dark, you're my people. If this hit home, tap like so the story finds the next person who needs it. Drop a comment. What would you have done? And subscribe for the next chapter. I'll show you the keys, the plans, and the wins on my terms.